Hi guys, Davorka here. So lately I have been, it feels like bombarded from YouTube suggestions with videos about psychedelics. And so it feels like it's just bringing my attention to it. So I went to do a little research and check it out because I'm not a person who is into drugs. I have never done them. I rarely even drink alcohol. So I was like, okay, why the heck is this coming to me? But I was like, okay, there is a reason for everything. So basically, psychedelics are drugs, but psychedelics in this way mean that people who are going through their own spiritual awakening, and especially really spiritual people, they sometimes use psychedelics to help them reach higher level of their higher self. So just to connect with their spirit and the source, and then they get some really good downloads. And for example, Vishen Lakhiani, the owner of Mind Valley, he actually got the idea for I believe for Mind Valley from the psychedelic, from doing the ayahuasca. And he had everything, like the whole programming, what all the steps are, and he did it. And now his platform is one of the most known in this part of, like, I'm not saying this part of society, but yeah, for the people who are spiritually awakened and who wants to learn more about themselves and self-development. A lot of people know about him. So he is one of those guys, and he's actually really vocal about it, and he's saying that psychedelics are not just like a normal use of drugs like people sometimes unfortunately use. It's like a really small dose of psychedelics, and you doing it in a controlled environment with the shaman for the purpose of getting to connect with your higher self. So now, because I am in my own spiritual awakening path right now, and yeah, it's not easy, my friend. There are many turmoils and many hurdles that I need to go through. And but of course I want to find a way how to connect with my higher self a little bit easier than just thinking, okay, is this my ego running the show now, or am I more intuitive right now? So that's what's happening sometimes. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's not. And yes, there are many other tools where you can actually tune into yourself and then connect with your higher self. However, sometimes you're just not in the mood, and it just doesn't work. So sometimes you feel helpless, and I understand people going on that route in those cases. But when it comes to me, I would rather find another route. So when I learned about psychedelics and what they do, and I was like, okay, so this is intriguing. This is really interesting. But is this the only thing that can get you there? Are there some other tools that are, because usually everything is easy. Everything is simple, not easy. Everything is simple. So what are other simple ways that you can get there without using psychedelics? And then it came to me that the answer, right? And that was that actually you can get to that higher state of consciousness and connect by just breathing. And there are many breathing methods. There are many breathing tools. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to get there just by breathing for a month. Doing breathing exercise for a month. You have to do it a little bit longer, and you have to really give yourself some time. It's like with meditation. You have to gradually get to that point where you're going to open yourself to that, because that jump is, when you're using psychedelic, that jump is like really fast, and sometimes it does backfire because people do have really bad trips. But when you're doing it naturally by yourself, by doing breathing exercises, you're actually doing it gradually, and you are preparing yourself, and then you come to that point naturally. So I did start doing that like a month ago. I'm still not at that point where I'm downloading all the great ideas, but I can see some really big improvement with myself, with my my mental health, and also how I'm handling the situations day by day. So it is a progress, of course, but it's a nice progress, and it's really healthy. And actually, the breathing exercise that I'm doing is from Wim Hof, who is quite famous for his cold plunges, and I believe he is one of the healthiest men on the earth. And there, I watched some documentary with him, and he says that among, I believe, 500 people, something, but it was a huge number of people who got malaria, he was the only one who didn't get malaria. And they were like, okay, so you're like the old one. He's like, no, I'm not the old one. I'm just the only one who is taking care of his body the way that it should. So the body did fight off this virus, right? So he's really famous for that, and he's really this guy has some good stuff, as he says. You can see his breathing exercises on YouTube. I'm going to actually put the link below, the one that I'm using. But he's not the only one. There are many other people doing the breathing exercises, and go and check them up. Check what works for you, check what you can do. What I would recommend, do them at least 10 minutes a day, because that's the minimum. That's really a minimum. I usually do them in the evening or in the morning. In the evening, it's nice because you just do it before the bed, and then you just go to sleep like a baby, really like a baby. But morning works also, because then you are woken up like and fresh to go to handle and tackle that day. It all depends on you. It is personal preference. However, it's just like a muscle. The more you do it, the better it gets. And one thing I have to tell you regarding the breathing is that all of us, like 99.9% of people on this world, we are really bad breathers. We breathe shallow. We don't breathe fully. So our lungs are never expanded enough, except if you're running and then after that you can catch your breath. So that's a different story. But yeah, like a normal breathing routine, it's never fulfilled. You're not breathing the way that you're supposed to be. So that's why these breathing techniques come really nicely. And when you start breathing technique, there is a big, huge possibility that you're going to be dizzy. And this is one of the part where you get to that psychedelic part, where what psychedelics actually do to you, and that is that you are getting dizzy, right? A little bit. So do not be alarmed for that. Do not be alarmed if you feel like your hands and legs are tingling. It's completely normal. Your body is just more saturated with oxygen, and it's completely normal that you are feeling that. So go and check it out. As said before, it's not just this one, there are many more. I'm going to keep you updated to see how I'm doing with this whenever I have some kind of a progress. But in the meantime, I would love for you to share with me your experiences down there in comment. And also, guys, I can't stress this enough. If you are in your own spiritual journey and spiritual awakening and you don't know what the heck is happening, I'm here to help. I'm here to help with my own experience that I have so far. So please do reach out, and let's take it from there. Until my next video, I'm just going to say bye bye for now, and have a great day. Bye.